What's going on, guys? I'm Dave, back with another episode of Debt Free Differently, and today we're talking about how you can manage your money and start living like a millionaire. This video is not about how to ball out or spend recklessly. I'm pretty sure all of us could figure out how to do that on our own. When you want to be like someone, you learn from what they do. So we're going to learn how real millionaires manage their money, and you might be surprised to find that they're just regular people just like me and you. Talk about millionaires, we're going to use the same definition as Chris Hogan, who is one of the world's experts on millionaires. A millionaire is not someone who makes $1 million per year. A millionaire is someone who has a net worth of $1 million, meaning that what they own versus what they owe is greater than $1 million. It's important to know the difference between income and wealth. Most of these facts come from some of the best books on how people became millionaires. Everyday Millionaires, The Millionaire Next Door, and The Next Millionaire Next Door. If you haven't read these books already, they're worth your time. I'm pretty sure that everybody can learn something new from them. Let's start with one that you're doing right now. About 2/3 of millionaires say that they spend a lot of time planning their financial futures. Accumulating $1 million of net worth isn't something that just happens. I think a lot of people have this misconception that some people just fall into money or they just get lucky. One of my most successful friends who retired early told me that he actually became a multimillionaire because he became so obsessed with how he could manage his money well enough that he could earn the right to be lazy. He spent hours every week thinking about his money, his investments, and where he could plan ahead so that he could live more and work less in the future. While yes, there are a handful of people who fall into wealth due to incredible luck or circumstance, the vast majority of people get there by doing exactly what you're doing right now, planning ahead and thinking about how they're going to get there. This one is one of my favorites. 1/3 of millionaires never made 6 figures in a single year of their working career. 93% of millionaires attribute hard work, not huge salaries, to them becoming a millionaire. Teachers are actually among the top 5 most common jobs of millionaires in the United States. When you invest early, consistently, and leave your money invested to benefit from compound interest, you can become a millionaire without even sniffing the zip code of the 1%. So even if you don't make 6 figures, or you never do, 1/3 of millionaires were in your same boat. The next one relates to mindset. The vast majority of millionaires believe in themselves and believe that they have control over their outcomes. They don't listen to people who say that they'll never make it. They never let things like their gender, their age, their sexual orientation, or anything else determine if people like them can make it. Regardless of what life brings them, they believe that they're in control of their own success. Next, about 19% of millionaires received money from a trust or an estate, meaning that about 80% of all millionaires didn't receive any form of inheritance at all. First-generation millionaires are being made every day, so just like you can buy a house without help from parents or a family member, you can become a millionaire without help too. An inheritance is not a key part of most millionaires' financial plans, and most of their parents didn't leave money to help them get to where they're at today. This one might surprise you, but most millionaires do boring investments. As the kids say, their investing is kind of basic. 8 out of 10 millionaires invest in their company's 401k plans, which a lot of us can do, but it's not as sexy as investing in cryptocurrencies, IPOs, or individual stocks. In general, millionaires keep their investing simple and benefit from compound interest. They choose proven investing strategies over risky investments. These are things like index funds and mutual funds. These are boring, but they are proven ways to double your money every 8 to 10 years. I hope this doesn't come as a surprise, but millionaires still have budgets. 2/3 of them know how much money they spend on food, clothing, and housing. By comparison, about 35% of high-income earning non-millionaires do the same. See the correlation there? Millionaires create budgets and keep track of their money. Even after they have a lot of money, they got there by knowing where it's going and planning ahead for it. Another inspiring one, especially for the younger folks in the back, is that millionaires aren't rich old people. The average millionaire is about 49 years old and took about 28 years of work to get there. Some people think that they'll only hit millionaire status in retirement, so it's not something that's super interesting to them or a goal that's really even worth thinking about. In reality, many people are becoming millionaires before they turn 50, which makes them multi-millionaires by the time they retire. This one might mess up our childhood views of rich people living in mansions, but most millionaires do not live in million-dollar houses. I love watching million-dollar listing and selling Sunset as much as anybody, but 65% of millionaires live in houses that are valued under $1 million. 28% of millionaires live in houses that are right around the median price in the United States, so these are just regular people living in regular neighborhoods. On average, millionaires have a mortgage that's less than 1/3 of the value of their homes, which means that they're living in these houses for longer and they're actually paying off these houses as well. This one also goes against popular belief, but millionaires avoid debt. In fact, debt makes up less than 5% of their total net worth. A lot of people talk about leveraging debt and going into debt to try and make money from it. While some people are successful with this, a lot of people are building a house of cards that can fall apart pretty easily, and they're building some pretty bad habits when it comes to debt. This isn't how most millionaires create wealth. A lot of this comes down to budgeting and discipline because millionaires create wealth with cash, not debt. This is all about living within your means and making financial moves that you can actually afford. I'm all for people making money off their money, but it should be their money, not somebody else's. Let's talk about cars. Millionaires don't lease cars, they own them. Leasing a car is one of the most expensive ways to drive, and millionaires know this. When people tell me that someone is so great with their money, but then that person proceeds to tell me about the great lease that they got on their luxury car, all of that credibility goes out the window. The most popular car brand owned by millionaires is Toyota, followed by Honda and Ford. Pretty normal, right? In fact, 86% of luxury cars are owned by non-millionaires, so one of the ways that millionaires are showing that they're good with their money is by not showing off how much money they have with the cars that they choose to drive. Which brings me to my next one. Millionaires do not live like they do in cartoons. Most of them live in middle-class neighborhoods, drive non-luxury cars, wear regular clothes, and have regular watches. Most of them don't have the latest electronics or have a closet full of designer clothes. They pass up these unnecessary depreciating expenses so that they can invest their money into appreciating assets instead. 50% of millionaires spent less than $300 on their most expensive watch, and on average, they spend about $35 on a pair of jeans. That's a lot of Old Navy going on there. When you see someone with a Rolex or a $200 pair of jeans, while they might be rolling in loot, they might actually be showing you how irresponsible they are with their money. Another cool one is that 9% of American households can call themselves millionaires. This is what I love about the idea of everyday millionaires. High-end luxury neighborhoods do not make up 9% of the neighborhoods in the United States. It's not even close. I love this fact because this is nearly 1 in 10 people. These are regular people doing regular jobs who are making this happen every single day. Now, how do you determine how you're doing right now? There's actually a formula to determine how well you're doing based on your income level. Multiply your age times your pre-tax annual household income. Divide that number by 10, and that number is what your net worth should be right now. If your net worth is equal to or above that amount right now, you're doing pretty awesome. If your net worth is below that amount, it might be time to reevaluate your budget and see if there's ways that you could do some catching up. I hope you guys enjoyed learning these facts about millionaires and even found some of them inspiring. Becoming a millionaire isn't impossible. Nearly 10% of American households are making it happen right now, and with the right planning and discipline, you can become one too. Of course, if you've made it this far, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend, or subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Debt Free Differently.